Hey guys, I'm Clint Flairwood. Welcome back to another Division 2 video, and today is the mark of the new patch, which means World Tier 5, which is what we've all been waiting for the last few weeks. We've got to World Tier 4, we've got to Endgame, and no, it kicks on, it goes to World Tier 5, and Tidal Basin, new stronghold, new missions, and so far so good. However, the first thing that I did when I loaded up the game was look at my mods, my gear mods and my skill mods, and in all honesty I was a little bit bewildered. There's been a nerf in terms of the weapon mods in my opinion, there's been a buff in terms of the skill mods, and I'll go through each one individually so you can take a look and you can see where the major changes are. So we'll start with the weapon mods. Now, this is the build that I've been running with just prior to World Tier 5, just before the patch Friday morning. And this is how I set my build out, which was the 2 for the damage, 12 for the armor or the shield, and then 4 for the skill power. And I was running 196,000 armor, 65,000 health, and 172 skill power. So I'm building that kind of tanky PvE stroke PvP build. But enough of that. Let's talk about the weapon mods. This was the weapon that I've been rolling about. I did a video the other day, the Police M4 video. Weapons beastly, by the way. However, prior to this, what you see now, I was hitting 850 RPM. And I had 60 bullets in the mag. So I've had a 10% increase in my RPM. And I've had 20 bullets deducted from my magazine. Now, in all essence, that is not something I wanted. It's not something I want to do. We'll take a look now at the mods of this particular weapon. And again, we'll start with the Pro Red Dot Sight. Now, what I've got now is 5% stability. The magazine, I've got the light extended mag, which used to be 30 rounds in the mag, and I'm losing some reload speed to get me down to the 850, which is exactly what I wanted. But no, I'm going back to 935 rounds per minute, and I've got the 10 rounds. The laser pointer, I've got 5% critical hit chance. The Omega 5.56 rifle suppressor, give me an extra 20% stability. I'm losing some optimal range. And that's how it sets out. These are my options in terms of the mods. So the first thing I advise is when you turn on the division, you enter World Tier 4. Even if you're starting the game, you know, whether you be level 12 or level 25 or a World Tier 2, whatever level you are or World Tier, check your mods first because they have changed quite drastically. So I would alter them to your liking, and then look at how you want to build going forward. Now, these are the options I have available on my long optics rail, and this is what I have. I've got the ACOG scope, which is 20% optimal range, reflex sight, which is 20% critical range, and for anyone wondering what critical strike range is, that is where you critically hit. So as you can see on the right hand side, you can see critical strike range 10 to 45 meters. That pretty much means I can only crit in that range. So we'll just equip that bad boy. So as you can see now, my critical strike range is 10 to 54 meters. That means, again, I can hit harder from a distance, which is really good. I'm losing 5% stability, which is what it is. But that's a better mod to have, in my opinion. I'm losing a little bit of stability, but I'm getting that 20% critical range. Or we're talking the ACOG scope, which is the plus 20% optimal range. In all fairness, I don't like the 4x scope. I prefer the reflex sight. So this is the one that I'll be going for. And again, just seeing that there equipped, I thought, I want to change that. I'm not too happy with that. So that's getting more value from the build. So in a nutshell, anything 0 to 10 meters, I will not critical hit on an assault rifle. Now, in terms of an SMG, which seems to be the meta at the moment, the critical strike range is 0 to 30 meters. Anything beyond 30 meters, you will not critical hit. So ARs from a distance are good. Again, from that face tanking perspective, go for the SMG. In terms of the laser pointer, again, I've got the 5% critical hit chance. Is it stability 10% or reload speed or critical hit damage? I want to build crit on this build. I'd rather have the 5% critical chance. Otherwise, I have no crit on this build at all. So I'd rather go for that little bit of crit other than the bit of stability or the reload speed or the critical hit damage or accuracy. I'd rather get a little bit more damage from the build. So I'm happy with that. And this one, it's got 20% stability, I'm losing some optimal range, or just gain some optimal range, or damage to elites. And I think in PvE, I would go for damage to elites. In PvP, I will go for that stability. And finally, in terms of the magazine, these are the options that you have now. You have the option of just having 10 rounds. And again, before, the light extended mag was 30 rounds minus 10 rate of fire. Now I've got just 10 rounds. And that, in all essence, for me, is not where I want to be. I want more ammunition. I want more bullets in the magazine. I think it just makes sense. It is what it is. That's a bit of a nerf in my opinion, but, you know, we've got to roll with it. Balance spring 20% stability, optimal range 30%, critical damage 10%. I stick with the 10 rounds. I'd rather those 10 extra bullets. I think that has more weight. Okay, and in terms of the talents, ideally, what I need to look at now, for my own personal opinion, to improve this particular weapon, is if it didn't have a low grow, take that off and get something like maybe jazz hands for the reload speed, weapon handling, which is again really, really good, but more importantly, I think the go-to talent on a lot of AR builds now would be extra, which gives you the extra 20% magazine capacity. So that would get me another 8 bullets. Yeah, 8 in the whole grand scheme of things is not a massive amount, but it will help immensely in PvP. So if you get extra as your middle talent, then that is a good talent to have going forward, I feel. Okay, so those are the mods. Again, all in all, I feel this had a bit of a nerf. So make sure you check, double check, and get the mods that you have unlocked already. Start crafting to get the relevant mods on your, again, SMG, AR, LMG, whatever you prefer. That's the way forward I would look at it. Now, in terms of skill mods, skill mods have changed. What they've done, they've lowered the requirements, which is perfect, which makes an immense amount of sense in PvE, PvP, whatever floats your boat, in all honesty. Using the skill mods beforehand, again, I have next to nothing skill power. It's not how I've intended for the build, and I will have very few skill mods available still for this build. However, if you do spec the odd bit of skill power here and there, or maybe cooldown reduction or skill power, then you will unlock some requirements. And once you start to do that, you will start to get a better skill build. So kudos to Massive in this respect. They have looked at the skill variance in the game, and they must have known it needed a big buff, because at present it's not in a good place. So going out after this little patch, it's in a better place. You know, and I've used a bit more skills here and there, and to be honest, I feel they're much better. We got, again, in terms of duration, in terms of the damage, even it's in a much better place. So again, I completely understand why they've done this, and it just brings back those skill build options. Again, you can invest 6, 7, 8k skill power now and have a really nasty PvE build, and do it really well in a group of 2, 3, or even 4. So skill builds, in my opinion, are now viable, and you'll see a lot more guys running skill builds, which is great for the game. But it brings you that diversity, because before it's all DPS. You can run through PvE missions a lot quicker with a good DPS build. Now skill power is back, in my opinion, so kudos there, and hopefully I can't wait to start building some really horrible PvE skill builds and bring them to you guys, and I'm sure you'll enjoy what I've got to offer. But skill builds are back. Now, in terms of the mods, I'll just quickly go through this now. As you can see, the requirements are very low. The 747, 637. Again, my skill power is trash. You know, I've not invested anything into skill power. However, just the tickle, if you do invest into skill power, you will get a lot back from it. With this, I've just gone for duration. Again, I've just stuck those mods on there. But there are different mods to go for. Again, if you look back now, you can see skill power requirement 895. That's for a gold mod. 2241 for ensnare health. 626 for a cooldown reduction of 6.2%. You can see it's quite achievable now. You're in a good place, which is what they needed to do from the off, in my opinion. But they've realised very quickly, very early on in the game, this needed to be fixed, and it has. And it means that, again, as I said, skill builds are now not only viable, but they can be really powerful in PvE. The one thing I do want to talk about as well is the chem launcher. If well, to be honest, everyone's rolling with a Chem Launcher Reinforcer mod. Now, with that particular mod, what you would do, you just tap your R bumper, or again, whatever is on PlayStation, you would tap that, and it will give you that instant heal, and you can have 2 or 3 pops of that. You've got your heal back. Now, it's just like the sticky bomb, so you will need to aim. You need to press the RB, so you've got it activated. Then you aim, and then you fire with the right trigger to get it on the ground. And it's, again, as I said before, it is more like the sticky bomb of the Division 1, as opposed to just tap RB and you're healed in no time. So that's changed. So that's something I'd think about and see if that's the right skill healing build for you. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I weren't overly keen, in all honesty. Some people will keep it as their go-to heal. But again, you can build with patience, safeguard on your build. Again, you'll get that healing back, in all honesty. So there's ways and means of even not using that and having some more damage building skill variants. So there you go. And in a nutshell, guys, skill power is back. I know I've waffled on in this video, but I just wanted to stress that is any PvEs especially, are watching this video thinking, I've not seen anything really out of the ordinary to bring my skills back to where I want to be, like the Division 1, where you invest a lot into skill power and you can produce some nasty, really horrible PvE builds that absolutely destroy NPCs. You can do that in the Division 2 now. You can build some nasty builds that will absolutely rinse NPCs, which is great for the game, and it'll keep a lot of the old school PvEs in tow, and they'll really enjoy what we've got to offer for Division 2. Okay, guys, this is a quick rundown. There's plenty more to talk about in terms of mods, World Tier 5, Tidal Basin, builds, all this kind of stuff that I've got to offer, which will be over the next few days. So bear with me, but in a nutshell, mods, some bad in terms of the weapon mods, not ideal, not where we want to be, but you know, we've got to deal with what we've got to deal with. I'm sure we can work with them. But skill mods, skill builds will be back in Division 2. Okay then, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, drop a like. If you want to see more Division content, you know what to do. Smash the sub button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.